Yeah, I've got them up.
Hey guys, looks like we are live. How are you? I don't know about you, but we are so excited to be here to help you guys out with this. So first of all, if you are joining us live, please drop in where you're joining us from. And if you are watching the replay, drop us a hashtag replay.
And I want to congratulate you guys for taking action in your business and making a commitment to show up and really work through this workshop with us so that we can help you really get the needle moving in your business before too much time passes in 2021.
Yeah, all right, perfect. So I just had to bring it up. I want to make sure we could see everybody. All right, I see a bunch of you guys dropping in. Perfect. Well, I know some of you guys like signed up at the last minute, and I'm so excited for that and I know you guys were sharing this with friends because we can see like where things come from, and we're so excited that you did that because here's the thing. When you guys can, get more people who learn these skill sets, it's going to be so much easier for you to be able to run with your business. And this is a big thing, we're going to dive in, or we're going to share a little bit with you about our backgrounds before we dive in, because not all of you are really familiar with Ruth and I. Not all of you have been on some of our trainings, but we're going to share with you what it's been able to do. And I can tell you that it's allowed us to really build a big team of go-getters, a big team of people who truly want to lock arms and run. Now, let me just ask you, how would that feel, right? Instead of feeling like you're dragging people along every single time you want to do something, right? So, yeah, I'm just so excited.
Absolutely. And we're going to be sharing over the next 5 days the strategies that we personally use and the strategies that we've taught our team to use to create the momentum that we saw back in 2020. So stay tuned. Make sure you take notes, guys. The recordings will be posted in this group, so you can go back and watch them again. But make sure you take some notes, share with your team, and really put into action what we teach, because I know a lot of people get training courses and things like that, and they watch them, but they don't take action. So this week, it's about taking action. We're going to be giving you specific things to work on. And when you take action, that's when stuff starts to move, right? And secondly, if you do have questions, make sure you ask, right? We are here to help you. This is interactive. You can ask your questions in the comments, and we will absolutely get back in and either answer them live or answer them with a reply if you're watching the recording.
And I just want to ask, there's a couple of you on here who have never given Facebook or StreamYard access, right, with your name here. So if you can grant StreamYard permission, that'd be awesome, because then we can actually see who is leaving the comments. Although I did bring it up on my phone, so I do know this time. But I just want to give a quick shout out. We've got Shar on, Hadiatu on, Marlo. Let's see here. Lavon is on, Barbara, Gail. Who else do we have here? Dan, Roxanne, Gimo. Marneda, and I'm not sure if I missed you guys. I apologize. Those are the names. Tiara, I see. Lavon is on, and let's see. It seems like I missed one more. Oh, Leanne. Leanne is on as well. So welcome, guys. You guys are obviously action takers, and if you're ready, just drop in already, and we are going to go ahead and dive on in.
Absolutely. So I am going to be the screen sharer today. And if you give me a moment, I will share my screen with you.
Hey, London. Thanks for joining in. Love it. And just the other thing too, guys, we are going to have a homework assignment at the end. Just so you know, every day this week, you're going to have a homework assignment. One thing Ruth and I truly believe in is giving you guys just like actionable items every single day, because so many times people get on and they do a course or they do something and they get all this information and then they got to go back and remember everything to do. So we give you something every single day so that you're making progress, so that, when we wrap up this training, you're already way ahead of where you were when you got started today. So, all right, I see it. Everybody's ready.
Perfect. Okay. So here we are, Enroll, Duplicate, and Win in 2021. This is day one, and we are going to be talking about personal branding today because that's where it all starts.
So guys, in case we have not met, and I know we have met a lot of you, but honestly, a lot of you, I don't think we have met. But I'm Trisha, this is Ruth, and we have been in network marketing a combined 25 plus years, right? So we have done it all. We have built old school, we built new school, online, offline, you name it, we have done it. Now we build entirely online using social media. And I got to tell you, it is a game changer. You guys are going to be so excited. We are both double comma club marketing coaches. We feel mentally and physically on fire. As you can tell, we are always doing something crazy. Our teams don't even know what to do with us. We are both girl moms, and in the past 3 years, we have coached well over 3,000, yes, 3,000 struggling network marketers. And that is what has allowed us to really understand what was missing in this industry and how to really put it all together for people. We are both six-figure income earners, and we are passionate about helping people achieve their dreams.
So these workshops are right for you if you've ever been told that you need a personal brand, but you were confused about what that really meant. I know that was me years ago. If you've ever thought that you could find rock star recruits by posting about your products and opportunity, that was me as well a number of years ago. If you're confused about who your target market is and why knowing that is the foundation to creating a marketing strategy. And today we're going to be really diving deep into that because it truly is the foundation. If you can nail that down, then you will grow an amazing business. If you don't nail it down, then you're going to be posting and praying like so many people do. If you are looking to attract quality leads using social media, then this training is perfect. If you want to build a team of go-getters, like Trish said, not those people that you're kind of dragging along. And if you're ready to have success and the same success you were really hoping for when you started in your business.
So guys, real quickly, what's going to be different today about this training compared to other trainings is usually, you learn a lot about the why and the what. Today, we're going to be diving into the how. So if you're excited about that, and if any of those things that Ruth just said resonate with you, drop us a how below. All right. So here are a couple of tips. Be present and take notes. Please, please, please turn off your cell phone, TV, social media, any other distraction that you have, okay? Ask questions and engage. Stay awesome and positive. Do your homework each day and commit to learning a new skill set and making a change in your business.
So real quick, guys, this is how we got here. We were in network marketing. We did things the traditional way. We both had some pretty good success doing it, making that list and prospecting strangers, but it led to massive burnout. After a few months, a lot of our friends and family who had joined either quit or our cold market prospects, we were kind of running out of them and they were saying no, and there was a ton of rejection. It was exhausting doing coffee meetings and meetups and mall sharking and all those crazy things. We really wanted a home-based business. I mean, who doesn't? Hit some of those heart emojis if you believe a home-based business should be run from home and not running around like a chicken with your head cut off. We felt like white noise on social media when we first got started, meaning that, we felt like we were just being drowned by everything else out there. Cold market prospects on social media were skeptical because they didn't know us or trust us. And our businesses started actually moving backwards. So they weren't growing, they were declining. Our dreams kind of felt like they were starting to slip away. And that's when we said enough is enough. We really have to learn the one skill that's missing in this industry, and that's the skill of marketing. It's called network marketing for a reason, but so often we aren't taught real marketing skills, and that's what we're going to be teaching you in these workshops.
So the first thing, obviously, when Ruth and I got started in this industry is we didn't have social media. So once we had social media, we said, well, okay, let's go to where the people are. Because think about it, guys, on Facebook, Now, these numbers are as of November of 2020, but on Facebook, there are 2.7 billion monthly active users and 1.69 billion, I guess, again, yes, billion with a B, right? Log on to Facebook every single day. 1.3 billion use Facebook Messenger each month, and 500 million daily active users on Instagram. So guys, this is where the people are, right? And so when you're thinking about building your business, you don't need all these millions or billions. You just need 20 good ones of your own, right? That you can help really go out. So think about that. But you have to think with these numbers, you have to be able to find those 20 of your own to be able to build your business.
So here's what we did back then. We posted about our products. So, we had pictures of our products all over our social media with links to our company's replicated website. We shared videos about our company and the opportunity and the comp plan. In fact, my cover photo on Facebook was my company's name, the company I was in back then. We changed the employer name on our social media to the name of our network marketing company. And we just started spamming groups. We spammed groups. We spammed people in Messenger. We sent hey girl messages. It was a lot of work with not a lot of results. A little bit of results back then because not everyone was doing it. But now everyone is doing that. And it literally gets lost in a sea of posts.
Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. Some of you, depending on the company you're in or the team that you're in, you may have leaders who tell you, oh, this is work. This is how I built my business. That might be true. But when did that happen, right? When were they able to build their business that way? Because likely it wasn't recently, right? This is probably years ago because those tactics just don't work anymore. So here's what happened when we were being spammers and doing all that. Some of our friends actually unfriended us, right? Like I remember going to neighborhood meetups and honestly just feeling super uncomfortable because I knew people were talking. I would hear things and it would be, these weird comments. And, I'm sorry, that's not how you want to be known, right? We got negative comments about the industry being a scam and pyramid. It never failed. You'd finally get a post that people were commenting on, and then there always had to be that one person to come and comment on it. Did you get that, Ruth? It was like,
yeah.
This is a spinning scam. Oh, very few people bought our products, and no one wanted to join us, even with our desperate posts that we put out there. So we truly became spammers without even knowing it. We were just doing what we were told to do. And that's just because our uplines didn't know any better, right? So we got totally frustrated, and at some points it truly felt like quitting on our dreams altogether.
So we knew there had to be a better way, and we kind of put our business caps on. I mean, we've both run real brick and mortar businesses in the past. We've, been CPAs for years, and we recognized that the piece that was missing was marketing. We needed to find a way to find the right people who wanted to join businesses, people who wanted to be in network marketing. And since then, we've built an amazing business using the strategies we're about to teach you.
So along the journey, this is what happened. As both Ruth and I were coaches and we were really learning all these things and starting to get more traction on our own, what we saw was that countless network marketers trying to build their businesses on social media still weren't getting results, right? Some were still spammers. Some were trying to apply the principles and steps in attracting the downline through automation, but they were failing, right? These go-getters had bought programs, courses, trainings, and were feeling stuck, frustrated, and overwhelmed. And one of the things we noticed when we were coaching the most is that people truly were starting to get caught up in what we like to call and joke about called shiny syndrome, right? And the problem with that is there's so many things out there, people just don't even know where to get started. And people were trying everything. Most were still just listening to uplines who were teaching that copy-paste method. But the worst part of all of it is they were still not getting results.
And it's funny, I just want to share this because a lot of people are still doing this, a lot of copy-paste. And I had a message over the weekend from a lady, and it was clearly a copy-paste message about her products. And I asked her, what kind of success she was having with this strategy. I was curious to see what she said. And she said, well, yesterday I sent out 180 messages. 18 people agreed to see my company video.
Wow.
And I said to her, I said, so do you feel it's a successful strategy? And she said, yes. And then I asked her, how many sales have you made from this? She said, none. So sometimes when people are doing activity, they feel the activity is the success, but you have to ask yourself, is the activity putting money in your bank account? Because that's the true measure, right? And when I asked her that question, she went, no one.
Yeah.
So, just sort of food for thought as we work through these trainings. Sometimes we get stuck in what we used to do, but really approach what you're about to hear with a really open mind, because it's a new way of thinking about things.
Love that. Love that. All right. So guys, we decided to step in, right? With the knowledge that we had gained and the results that we had created for ourselves and others, we really decided we needed to start teaching the real deal to people. Because it just, we get so many people who come into our group, so many people who reach out to us, that we just knew, we wanted to help out the whole industry. It's not just about our team members. It's about helping us all be better, right? The real steps and processes required to build using social media and attract a downline of enthusiastic entrepreneurs. That's what we're all looking for. And we wanted to show people the real and simple steps to creating a personal brand that attracted rock star entrepreneurs, right? Because there's nothing worse than getting people started just to have them go in the witness protection program before you actually have a conversation again, right? Have you guys ever had that? So this has allowed us to start taking people from Suckville to Awesome Town, is how we like to put it. And I remember when we first kind of started learning this concept, we would laugh, but the bottom line is, right now, if you're not getting any success in your business, you're stuck in Suckville. And that's not why you signed up for this. You want to be in Awesome Town. And so we're going to take you on that journey.
Since then, we've been asked to do things like speak on stages, be guests on podcasts, coach at really large events. And when people ask us to take a look at working with us or joining our team, 9 out of 10 say yes. It wasn't like that before. It used to be about 2 out of 100. So this is going to be game changer for you guys.
All right. So now we're going to start diving into the nitty gritty, right? So you may be asking yourself, what in the world is the big deal about branding, right? So the bottom line is, it's the way businesses are really built. If you think about Apple, North Face, Mercedes-Benz, IBM, GE, the list goes on and on and on, right? These are brands, they're companies, but they're also brands. And you yourself are a brand, and that's what we're going to show you how to become, because you want to, when you think of each one of these companies individually, it's something different, right? Apple computers, right? North Face clothing, Mercedes-Benz, nice cars, IBM, computers. So all of these things have something very specific that you think of when you hear that name. And that's what we want to teach you to do with your name, right? So how you can brand yourself so that when somebody hears it, ooh, she's a network marketing guru, or ooh, she builds online, whatever it might be, they're going to know what you stand for. So again, branding is going to showcase what you stand for. It's going to showcase the value that you offer and what people actually know you for. What it also does is it builds know, like, and trust. And the thing is, guys, people do business with someone who they know and trust. They just do. They will do business with people who they know and trust. I mean, even in everyday life, right? If you want a doctor or a dentist or something, typically you're going to ask a friend for a referral because there's going to be some know and trust there before you ever even go on that appointment, right? It's the same thing when coming up with your brand. So your brand is going to become top of mind when people are looking for what you have.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about defining what we call your avatar. So first of all, your avatar, I want you to think of it as your perfect prospect. Okay. So your perfect prospect being who you want to become for that person. So first of all, know that marketing to everyone is marketing to no one. Not everyone is your prospect. And I remember when I first came across this whole concept and started to learn about, targeting and really defining who my perfect prospect was, I had fear. I had fear that I was going to miss out on people that I wasn't necessarily targeting or speaking to. So one of the mistakes I made in the very beginning was I set an avatar or a perfect prospect too broadly, meaning I didn't niche down. I didn't narrow down who I was talking to. And what actually ended up happening those first few months was that I attracted no one. Yeah, I had some friend requests and some followers, but no one wanted to do business with me. No one reached out to do business with me. And it's because my message was too broad. So we're going to be giving you an exercise in this workshop on narrowing down your avatar, narrowing down who your perfect prospect is. Don't be afraid to get really narrow. Narrow it down to one perfect person, because that's what's going to really help you with your messaging. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So by doing this, you're actually turning yourself into a real marketer. That's what big companies do. That's what people who have strong personal brands do. They narrow down their prospect to one perfect person, okay? Because delivering the right message in front of that perfect person is going to have them feel connected with you. They're going to feel like you know them. They're going to feel like you understand them. And that's what creates trust. And I'm going to ask you a question, and drop me a 1 in the comments if this has ever happened to you. You're scrolling through social media and you read someone's post and you go, oh my gosh, they're talking to me. They know what I'm going through. They understand me. That creates connection. That starts to create relationship with people, as opposed to something really broad and really kind of fluffy. That connects with no one. It might look nice, but no one's going to feel that message. Okay. So that's why that is super, super important. By doing that effectively, you're going to have the right kind of people reach out to you, right? They'll have felt your message and they're going to feel that you're relatable to them. So they will start reaching out to you. It also allows you to be super clear on your posts. So if you really understand who your ideal business prospect is, then your posts are written for them. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Your posts are written for your ideal business prospect, meaning your posts can entertain them, can educate them, can solve a problem for them, but it's really done intentionally and written in a way that your prospect is going to go, oh my gosh, yeah, I got to follow this person. They know what I'm going through.
So what is an avatar, right? So like Ruth said, it's your perfect prospect. But we want to kind of give you like what the real definition is and stuff here too, because sometimes people get a little confused with it and, that you think it's that little icon guy. We're going to dive in, but a prospect avatar or a buying persona is essentially a profile of the perfect customer or client. So it's one person, right? So think about this. When you look at your company or your business, and I'm not sure where they are, I'm going to use a couple of general ones just because they're very popular. But you're going to actually have 2 avatars. Okay. So when it's for your business, you're looking for a business builder, a business partner, someone who wants to build the business. And then if it's someone to buy your products, you're looking at more of a customer, right? So you're looking more at a customer avatar. They're going to be 2 different avatars. Now, there might be some crossover, possibly, but for the most part, they're going to be 2 very distinct avatars. And so when you're coming up with your avatars, in fact, when we give you the homework assignment tonight, You may want to do both, right? You can do both, figure out where you want to focus first. We personally focus more on the business builder side. Now, there's no right or wrong, right? But for us, we just know that one, we've already got some customers, but two, if we've got more people getting customers, we're able to grow a little faster, right? So we do a little more focusing on that. But when you understand who your ideal prospect is, what they look like, what their habits are, what their interests are, what their challenges, their aspirations, really everything about them, you'll be much more effective in marketing to them. And very interestingly, I was taking inventory on our team that we've got, that Ruth and I have put together. We have got several accountants, several CPAs, several people in accounts payable, multiple people in finance. We've got a lot of athletes. We've got a lot of runners, right? Things that Ruth and I are, we're both prior CPAs, right? That we did that. So it's interesting when you think about this, that's who you start attracting. Now, the cool part about that, we didn't go out to groups of finance people to find these people, right? It's as you learn how to share your story, as you learn how to know who it is you're looking for, the message you deliver is going to start resonating with the people who you're trying to find, right? So we've got a lot of analytical people on our team, sometimes a little too analytical. I had to laugh. I'm like, oh, dear Lord. Because the funny thing is you can see too, as people go through this journey of personal development and everything too, how you make changes, right? So it's just really funny to see. I love it. But this is why it's so important, right? Because if you attract someone who's completely opposite and you have nothing in common, it makes it hard for people to relate and resonate with you. But when you've got a story and you really know who it is you're looking for, everything you say practically is going to resonate with them, and they're literally going to reach out to you. In fact, we had a gal, we have a new gal on our team who reached out to one of our girls and said, I don't know what happened. You just started showing up in my news feed. And I said to my husband, I've got to work with her. I have to work with her. And she reached out to her and contacted her. And it's just so good, because when you get messages like that, you've got your avatar dialed in.
Absolutely. And I love this analogy. So if this still isn't really clear yet, this is an analogy that Trisha and I both used with many, many of our coaching clients in the past. And it kind of goes like this. Have you ever watched a show like American Idol, where, the singer comes out and they sing the song and then everybody rates them? There was one a number of years ago where there was a young girl and she sang the most beautiful song. She was young. And by the end of the song, the entire audience was literally like weeping in tears. And she moved so many people with this song. And at the end, the announcer came out and he said, oh my gosh, like, what just happened there? You moved so many people. You touched so many people with your song. And you know what she said? There's a marketing message in this. She said, I sang my song to my grandmother. So when we are so clear at who we're singing our song to, right? Who we're telling our story to, then people with one or more of those attributes or feelings or things that happened in their lives will also feel it. So being very, very specific will touch a whole lot of people. So you don't really need to be afraid about narrowing down your avatar. So step 2, guys, is who is your avatar? And a really good question to ask yourself is, what problems does my opportunity solve or my product solve that people are actually searching for an answer to, right? Because we as network marketers, we become problem solvers for people. That's how we grow big businesses. We solve people's life problems, or if it's a customer, we solve their skincare problems or their weight loss problems or whatever your products are, right? So start asking yourself, what problem can I solve for people? Or what set of problems can I solve for people? Because when you know that, it's going to give you an endless list of relevant content that you can start sharing with people to really start to be connected with them and have them come to know you as that person, that go-to person. And really, a simple Google search is going to help you identify some of those things.
So guys, if this is making sense, drop us a yes below. All right, drop us a yes, just so we know this is clear for everybody. All right.
And if you do have any questions along the way, absolutely, drop them in the comments, and we're happy to answer your questions live here.
Yes, absolutely. I don't see any so far. So perfect, perfect. All right, guys. So getting a little bit deeper into that avatar, right? You want to really be thinking, who specifically is it that you want to attract and help, right? Who is it? Are you looking for that younger person who, got to think about what age bracket, right? Just start thinking about this. Do you want someone who's your age? Like Ruth and I, this was something we talked about a lot and I just want to give this example because we do want a lot of younger people on our team, right? We want some people who are really interested in network marketing, because a lot of the younger group, they watch their parents, work a job for 30 years just to lose their retirement, things like that. So it's something we wanted, but we had to stop and think, because we had to figure, okay, well, that's not our age bracket now. So how do we appeal to those people? How do we actually attract those people? And so we had to stop, and we had to kind of go back to our beginning story in network marketing, right? Like we had to change that message we were putting out there. Whereas if we were truly marketing to someone, who is more in our age bracket of today, we're going to be talking about a different conversation, because now, it's about, for me anyway, it's about having kids who are in college, right? Getting ready to retire, being able to have that time and financial freedom to enjoy retirement, right? Those are things that are more on my mind today versus when I got started in this industry, where it was more about, being able to be at home with my kids, being able to take them to school every day, being able to be at their events. So really being specific with who you want to attract and help, okay? Then you're going to go into more of what pain or struggle do they have that this opportunity will solve. And we're going to give some examples here in a minute. But, is it that, let's just say if it's someone, in their 40s or 50s or something, what pain or struggle is it? Well, what's keeping them up at night? Is it, being able to pay for their kids' college? Is it being able to actually retire, right? Because there's so many people today who aren't in a position where they can retire. Is it being able to go enjoy retirement, right? So not only can you retire, but now can you go enjoy it and do the things that you want to do? So those are a few examples. And again, the opportunity of this industry, right? Being able to build a bigger business is going to help. What's this? I'm going to help with this. I already feel a bit lost. Okay. Oh, you're tech challenged. This part we're going over today, Lavon, don't worry. This isn't techie at all. So you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. But really, guys, getting specific with that pain or that struggle, knowing what's keeping them up at night. And, what other struggles do they have in their lives, right? Again, just really digging deep into that. What are their desires, right? What are their physical, emotional, financial or their relationships, right? So being, maybe it's a single mom trying to put people through college. There's so many different things, but you got to think, get deep as to what it is that they want to do. What specific language does your avatar typically use? And we're going to cover that in a minute as well. But knowing all of these things about your avatar is going to give you endless ideas for content, right? And you might be going, okay, well, how or why? But because you were there to help them as a trusted advisor, right? it's going to make it easier. But also, once you know specifically who this person is, you're going to know exactly what to write. You're going to know exactly what to say to hit those pain points that they've had. Is there anything you want to add to this, Ruth? Because that's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. And I just want to make sure, guys, that this whole concept is clear, right? Because sometimes it can be a little bit confusing when we talk about personal branding. We think that the brand is about us. And I used to have that belief, right? The brand's about me, right? I'm a career woman. I was a career woman. I take care of myself. I was an athlete. And the brand was about showing my lifestyle. Well, my brand has nothing to do with that, quite honestly. My brand is who I am for my ideal business prospect that I want to attract, right? Who am I going to be for that person? Am I going to be someone who inspires them, who teaches them things? I'm a great resource to them. Maybe I make them laugh from time to time on social media. But who am I going to be for that person? That becomes your brand. Now, all of the stuff around your lifestyle, that just allows them to get to know you as a person a little bit, right? Because it helps with the know, like, and trust factor. But who are you going to be for that person that you want to attract? Are you going to be able to help them with their problems, educate them, give them tips, give them strategies, give them tools? Because that becoming valuable to that person is what's going to attract them to you. So does that make sense, guys? Give us some hearts if that concept makes sense. I don't want to move on too much further till we have clarity on this.
And I just want to answer Shar real quickly. She asked if we adapted a strategy for Telegram yet. Shar, we have not. I'll be honest, Ruth and I do a lot with Facebook. We also do a lot with Instagram. And she and I also do a lot of stuff with YouTube as well. So Telegram, I know we both have accounts there, but we really haven't done a lot with it. But here's the great thing. Once you learn all of this, you can really do it on any platform. It doesn't matter. So if you are familiar with Telegram, once you learn these concepts, you could for sure do something there.
And we're getting lots of hearts here. So looks like we can keep moving forward here.
Yay.
So once your avatar has a virtual relationship with you, okay, you have some influence with them, you will then, they will join based on your recommendations. Sorry, I missed my spot there. So basically you become a trusted advisor, right? You become the go-to person that they check out on social media all the time. Then you just have to make recommendations and they basically do anything you tell them to do. So it's, once you gain that influence, it's influence that will create people just, you know, reaching. We have people reach out to us wanting to join our team without even wanting to see the network marketing company we're with. That's how powerful influence can be. So that's where we're going with this, guys.
And Ruth, I love that you said that too, because when we talk with people on Zoom, because we get a lot of people on Zoom with us, it is not uncommon for someone to ask if they can join us before they have ever seen a presentation for our company, before they even know what the company is, or before they even know what our products are. They don't care, right? They just know that they've been in this industry, they've been struggling, they want a solution, and they know we're winning. They know that we're leaders in our team. They know that we've got something that's working, and that's all they want. So we, you know, they learn to fall in love with our company afterwards. But in the beginning, they fall in love with us. So first, guys, you must understand and decide, and this is really, really, really important. Which perfect prospect are you posting for? Okay. Is it for the business partner or is it for the customer? Because like we said before, these are two very different avatars. So think about it. Let's just say you have weight loss products, right? Well, if you're attracting people who want, I'm going to say want, not need, because anybody can need a healthy product, right? But people who actually are wanting that healthier lifestyle, that's going to be different than someone who wants to build a 6 or 7-figure business, right? So very, very different people.
Interesting point here that I really want to share is you can start out with one and transition to another over time, right? And I'll give you a great example. I had a conversation with someone today who had an avatar who, or ideal business prospect, was a woman who was older, who wanted to become healthier. That was her avatar. So this lady was posting a lot of health related tips on her social media. And she connected with me and she said, Ruth, I'm frustrated. And I said, why are you frustrated? And she said, well, I've built a nice customer base, but I can't make it through the higher ranks just on customers in my company. I need a team. I need to build that residual team income. And I don't know how to attract business builders. And that's because, you know, she wasn't really able to convert enough customers into business builders, because generally customers just want to buy product, right? And every once in a while we can find a great builder in there. But the posts she was doing were not designed to attract business builders. So, you know, we're working with her to make that slow transition over to rebrand herself as someone that, you know, can attract people who are actually looking to build a business, a secondary income, entrepreneurial people, and so on. So you can start with one and transition to another, but you have to be clear on which one you're posting for.
So Dan Reeve has a question here. He said, can husband do one and wife do the other, business and product? And my answer to that would be yes. You know, if you guys are building two separate brands, and one of you wants to focus on one side of it and the other, of course, you definitely could do it that way. All right. So the next thing is, what language do they speak? Now, we're not talking about Chinese or Japanese or anything like that. But what are the typical words or language patterns that your prospects typically use, right? So understanding them for the different people that you're looking for. You know, if you're looking for someone specifically who's a network marketer, we're going to give some examples on this. If you're looking for that stay-at-home mom, if you're looking for someone who's, you know, that cubicle slave, you know, trying to get out of corporate America, you're going to be using different words that are relatable and understandable to each of those different types of people.
Absolutely. And Kimo has a question. How long do you have to remain on one before you switch to another? And that's a really good question. What we recommend is you stay on one long enough to have some success with it.
Yeah.
Because if you're constantly flipping back and forth between avatars and types of posts, you're going to totally confuse your audience. They're not going to know what it is you help people with. They're going to be confused and they'll stop following you. So you have to be consistent for at least a period of time and become known for something. And then you could either move to another social media platform to become known for something else, if that one thing's going really well, or you can start to combine things, provided they're not conflicting.
Love that.
Can you see my screen, Trish?
Oh, I can. Sorry, I thought it was your slide.
Oh, it might have been. I don't know. It's all good.
All right, so here's some of the different keywords and languages that you can use for the different types of people. So for instance, again, if you're talking to a network marketer, you want to use words that are going to make sense to a network marketer, right? So I think we can all agree, because I think most of you are all network marketers here, right? That you're familiar with the words upline, downline, convention, list of 100. Everybody knows that one. Three-way calls, three-way Zooms, comp plan, recruiting, sponsoring, team building, residual income, car bonus, trip incentive, bugging friends and family, sending hey girl messages, right? If those are resonating with you, drop us a 1 below just so we know, right? But you see how you want to make sure you've got something that's going to, make sense to the person who you're trying to attract. Because if you're wanting to really talk to a network marketer, if you're really trying to, hit that pain point that they've got so that you can then provide that solution, you want, you can't, first of all, just to meet Facebook rules, you can't be posting network marketing in your posts, right? You can't even be using those. Well, in your post you can, but like in other things you really can't. Like Facebook's gonna not put it in front of as many people. But you also, again, when you're putting that language out there, it's going to attract certain people. So the next one, cubicle slaves. Well, if you're in corporate America, right? Think about if you're trying to attract someone who's in corporate America. Well, their language is very, very different, right? They've got that 9 to 5. They've got that commute every day. They've got paychecks, salary, boss, employees, vacation pay, hourly rate, income ceiling, glass ceiling, childcare, daycare, right? The list goes on, but you can see that the words that you would use in your language are going to be very, very different. Stay-at-home moms, right? Maybe they want to contribute financially, have their own money, schedule play dates, feeling a little imbalanced with household duties, resentment of spouse, valuable time with kids, not missing out on life, carpool, like the list really goes on. Homeschooling, right? All these different words that are going to be words that are familiar to a stay-at-home mom. So just understanding and using the right language is going to help you attract those people that much faster and that much more.
So you may be asking yourself, why does all this matter? It's because when you speak your prospect's language, they will take notice. When you speak their language in your posts, your written posts, if you're doing Facebook Lives, which you should be, when you're speaking their language, they will feel like you're relatable, right? They'll understand it. Like, think about it. If your ideal business prospect, that person that you want to attract to your business, is another network marketer, right? But you're talking about, commutes and 9 to 5s and all of that, then the language doesn't always match, right? Or vice versa. If you want to attract that cubicle slave, maybe someone who's never been in network marketing, and you start throwing out words like upline and downline, they're not going to know what the heck you're talking about. So always make sure that you choose the right words for your ideal business prospect that you're using. You'll feel more relatable, right? On social media, we want to feel relatable to people so that they feel comfortable reaching out, right? And the more relatable we are, the easier it is for people to follow us and then reach out to us. They'll feel immediately connected with you. When you start speaking their language, the language they typically use in their lives, they will feel more related to you. And give value, okay? It all comes down to solving people's problems with helpful content. And that's why, really, guys, you have to, Trisha mentioned it before, you have to think about your ideal business prospect. Right now, they're in Suckville. So they got a lot of things going on in their lives that aren't so great. It could be on the product side. Maybe they want to lose weight. Maybe they've got saggy skin and it bugs them, whatever it is, right? But they've got stuff going on that bothers them. And I want you to think about, how can I bring that person to Awesome Town with what I have to offer, right? And that's where you start giving value. You start helping them solve problems. That does not include posting pictures of your products, right? You have to become that valuable resource for that person. They're going to come to know, like, and trust you. And before you know it, they're going to be joining your team or buying your products.
All right. So Ruth, real quickly here, before we dive into that homework, we've got a couple of questions.
Okay.
Hadiatu wants to know, what about attracting small business owners, people that are doing good, but nothing great?
Okay. So I want you to think about, a small business owner. And what problems could they typically experience in their small business? And I'm just going to throw some out there because I used to be a small business owner. I used to own a gym. And some of the things that I struggled with back then was long hours. I basically bought myself a job, right? Being a small business owner, I was there 12, 14 hours a day. I had to deal with employees. I had to deal with payroll. I had to deal with keeping the gym clean. So you can come up with this whole list of struggles that a typical small business owner might have. I mean, in this day and age, a lot of small business owners are locked down, right? They can't even have people come in their stores now. So you want to come up with that list of problems, and then you start talking about that on social media. You start giving value. You start giving inspiration and tips for those people, and kind of giving them a sneak peek at what residual income is and what it could do for a small business and a small business owner. Free up time freedom. That's huge. So you want to make that list of where they are in Suckville and show them how they can get to Awesome Town. So I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, I think that was great. And I just want to add a couple of things to you guys too. So remember, this is just day one, right? We're going to be sharing some different things with you guys about where to be finding these people this week, things that you can, types of posts to be doing. So as the week goes on, I think it's going to start to really tie together a lot more for you. But in the beginning, it's really important, again, to figure out who you're wanting to attract with your message, right? So when you think about building your business, who are you looking for on your team? Like if you're a network marketer, right? Who are you looking to join you in your business? What type of person do you want on your team? And that's where this avatar is so important. And it, again, as we go through the week, it'll start to make a lot more sense. But just understanding that. I see Lavon had a question here too. She says, I'm really conscious about my teeth because I went through a lot in 2018 health-wise. Facebook Lives scare the crap out of me.
Well, Lavon, I'll tell you, Facebook Lives scare the crap out of a lot of people. You are not alone. And in fact, they scared the crap out of me when I started them years ago.
Too.
And I want you to know something. Social media, the more real you are and the more transparent you are, and the more you tell your story, even your story of being self-conscious about something, the faster you're going to attract people, because people want to know real. People resonate with vulnerability, right? And gone are the days where people could show up on social media and basically, rent a Lamborghini and have some pictures taken in front of it and grow a big following. That people can't get away with that anymore. It's the raw, the real, the vulnerability, the real stories. Because in all likelihood, there's thousands of people out there who are also self-conscious. And they're going to go, wow, if Lavon can do it, she inspires me. I can do it, right? So yeah, I know it can be a little bit scary. And in fact, just so you know, we have a Facebook Live challenge inside of Social Networking Professionals group that you can do that in a closed group, and it doesn't have to be all public to get some practice. So if you want us to hook you up with that, we're happy to do that as well.
That's a great point, because you know what? It's something a lot of our team members have done. And I can tell you, it was the game changer for them with social media, starting out with that challenge. So we could definitely hook you up with that. Shar had a great question here too. And she says, are you using only your personal profiles on Facebook to post, or business pages too? So we're going to cover this a little bit this week, but really right now, Shar, unless you're running ads, a business page isn't, or well, let me go back. Unless you're running ads or you have already built a big following on a business page, it's not really the place to be building right now. The Facebook algorithm has changed, and you really, you're just not going to get the exposure that you're looking for on social media with the business page right now. So I'm going to give you guys the assignment and then we'll come back and answer. I see a couple more questions here, but first of all, I want to tell you guys the assignment for tonight is to do your avatar. So I'm going to, in just a second, post in the units the day one homework where we are going to give you an avatar worksheet. I want you guys to print it out and be focusing on that, answering that for tomorrow. And then once you've done it, we want you to go ahead and post it in the group, right? So what do we say? Post avatar done? Is that what we said? Yeah. So post avatar done in this group when you have completed your avatar. And of course, we're going to be going over that tomorrow. And again, I'll be putting it in the unit section as soon as we wrap up here.
Awesome. And Chemo has another question. If you want to attract the cubicle person, do you have to give advice regarding how to do this without your current job seeing them? So that's a really good question, because that is certainly a question that someone who has a job would ask, right? So if you were to go out on social media and give some tips on how to keep maybe some of your social media posts private from the people you work with, that would be tremendous value to that cubicle slave, right? And they'd go, wow, that's a really good point. I should start following her because that was really helpful. So any kind of, again, the cubicle slave had that problem, and by posting that information, you just helped them, right?
The other thing too, Lavon, is in your settings, or actually Chemo, sorry, in your settings on your profile, if you go to your Facebook settings, there's a privacy section. Anyway, you can create a list of people that when you do a post, you can then choose for that list of people to not see your post. Okay, so if you've got people who you're working with that you don't want them to see it, again, you create them as a separate little group of people, and then you can choose for that group of people not to see your post on Facebook. Okay, so hopefully that helps.
So Lavon, if you don't have a printer, that's okay. Just take out a pen and paper and you can answer the questions in the worksheet, right? So don't worry if you don't have a printer, just take a pen and paper out and do the homework in either a notebook or on paper.
Yep. And Shara also posted something you could follow there. If you see her comment, you can do either of those. But anyway, guys, that's day one. I hope you found value in this. I hope it was great. If you guys got value, please drop us a value below. And if you think of any other questions that you might have, drop them in this live today. But also, actually, I'm going to create a unit for Q&A. We will have a Q&A unit. And just make sure to tag Ruth or I in there so that we get notification to come look. And but I will set that up in the units here in just a second as well. And we'll be back here tomorrow. So thank you guys so much. And we really appreciate you.
Have an awesome day, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye.